So listen to the story. Thomas Müller is one of football's biggest enigmas. He doesn't possess world-class finishing, blistering pace, or exceptional dribbling, yet he's achieved what many can only dream of. What confounds people most about Müller is his position, or lack thereof. He doesn't fit into the typical roles of striker, number 10, or winger. So, what is he? In his own words, he's a raumdeuter, or space interpreter in English, which best captures his unique style. Müller's true strength lies in his uncanny ability to read the game, anticipate play, and time his runs to perfection. This allows him to create opportunities for himself and his teammates. Beyond his technical abilities, his leadership on and off the field has earned him the nickname Radio Muller, thanks to his exceptional communication skills with his teammates. Combining intelligence, leadership, and a footballing IQ that's second to none, Thomas Müller has become one of the most effective and respected players in world football. When it comes to consistency, Thomas Müller is in a league of his own. Over the years, he's adapted to countless managerial changes at Bayern Munich, and through it all, has become one of the club's most beloved legends. In many ways, Müller's rise to Bayern icon status seemed destined. Born in the small village of Paul, just 30 miles from Munich, he started playing for his local club, TSV Paul, at the age of 4. Even as a child, it was clear that Müller was exceptional. His coach once said that Müller could do things other kids simply couldn't, and his talent was undeniable. In one season, Müller scored over 100 goals, even though opponents often marked him tightly. His dominance at the youth level quickly earned him a promotion to play with older players. However, in his first game with the older team, Müller started on the bench. His team was down 1-0 when he was called on, and when he came on, he made an immediate impact, proving even then that his natural talent and ability to rise to the occasion would define his career. Thomas Müller's rise to prominence started at a young age. As a child, he dominated local youth competitions, and at the age of 10, his talent caught the attention of Bayern Munich, who signed him into their academy. He worked his way steadily through the youth ranks, impressing coaches and teammates alike. In 2007, Müller had a breakout season with Bayern's U19 team, scoring 18 goals in 26 games and exceeding everyone's expectations. This performance earned him a call-up to the first team from Bayern's manager, Jürgen Klinsmann, just before he turned 19. Müller made his debut early in the 2007-08 season, coming on as a substitute for Miroslav Klose. However, he struggled to make an impact in his first appearance and was sent back to Bayern's second team. He spent the remainder of the season with the reserves but continued to develop his game. By the following season, Müller had earned his place in the first team for good, quickly becoming a key player for Bayern. His versatility, work ethic, and ability to score goals helped propel him to stardom, marking the start of a legendary career. The 2007-08 season turned out to be a disaster for both Thomas Müller and Bayern Munich. Under Jürgen Klinsmann, Bayern failed to live up to expectations and finished the season second, losing the title to Wolfsburg by just 2 points. Klinsmann's lack of preparation for the role led to his firing with 5 games left in the season. Müller, after his underwhelming debut, expected limited playing time the following year. However, luck was on his side as Louis van Gaal was appointed as Bayern's new manager. Van Gaal quickly saw what Klinsmann hadn't, Müller's potential, and not only kept him in the squad, but made him a central figure in Bayern's attack. Alongside Frank Ribéry, who played on the left, and Arjen Robben, who joined from Real Madrid and played on the right, Müller was deployed in a central role in Van Gaal's 4-2-3-1 formation. The trio's balance was perfect. Ribéry as the creative provider, Robben as the dynamic winger, and Müller, with his sharp finishing, became one of Bayern's key attackers. Bayern Munich had a strong season, with Müller playing a key role in both scoring and creating chances. The team's new attacking style led to significant improvement over the previous year. And by April, Bayern had secured the Bundesliga title and the DFB Pokal. Müller finished as the top scorer in the cup, and with the domestic double in hand, Bayern had a chance to achieve something no German club had done before: win the treble. They reached the Champions League final to face Inter Milan. In the final, Inter's defense was resolute, shutting down most of Bayern's attacking chances. The game's first goal came in the 35th minute, when Schneider played a perfect pass to Mio, who calmly finished to put Inter 1-0 up. The match remained tight as Bayern struggled to break through Inter's defense, and at halftime, they were still trailing. Shortly after the second half began, Müller had one of Bayern's best chances to equalize, but he failed to score. Inter's defense held firm, and Bayern's treble hopes ended in disappointment. In the 70th minute, Malo sealed Bayern's fate, breaking Van Boom's ankles to score his second goal of the game. The match ended 2-0 in favor of Inter Milan, meaning Bayern missed out on the treble. To make the loss even more painful, Inter's victory made them the first Italian club to achieve a treble. Despite the disappointment, Müller could hold his head high. A year prior, He had played just 28 minutes of first-team football, but this season, he had featured in every game for Bayern. This was largely due to the trust placed in him by coach Louis van Gaal, who had a reputation for promoting young players, a trait he had developed during his time at Ajax. Van Gaal was known to say that even with stars like Ribéry and Robben available, Müller would always have a place in his team. As the season ended, Müller wouldn't have much time to rest. He was quickly called up to the German national team, marking the continuation of his rise as one of the brightest young talents in world football. Thomas Müller's breakout moment at the 2010 FIFA World Cup came in Germany's opening match against Australia. Called up to the national team, Müller quickly made an impact by assisting Lukas Podolski's opening goal, threading a pass to him as Podolski sprinted into the box. Müller also got on the scoresheet himself later, scoring with a clever dribble to evade his defender and putting Germany up 4-0, securing a dominant win. Germany finished top of their group with 2 wins and a draw, earning 6 points. In the round of 16, they faced arch-rivals England. The match began with an early 2-0 lead for Germany, courtesy of goals from Miroslav Klose and Podolski. However, England responded when Matthew Upson headed in from a Steven Gerrard cross, bringing them back into the game. Despite England's efforts, Germany held on, ultimately advancing to the next stage. Müller's contributions in the opening game set the tone for a memorable World Cup campaign, as Germany went on to finish third in the tournament. Germany's 4-1 win over England in the round of 16 was marked by Thomas Müller's back-to-back goals in the 66th and 69th minutes, sealing their progression to the quarterfinals. The victory set up a high-stakes clash with Argentina, which held personal significance for Müller. Before the match, Argentine coach Diego Maradona had disrespected Müller during a pre-match interview, refusing to sit with him and storming off the set, leaving Müller humiliated. In response, Müller took matters into his own hands. In the second minute of the match, he headed home a goal to give Germany an early lead. Germany went on to dominate, scoring 3 more goals to secure a 4-0 victory over Argentina. Despite the satisfaction of getting revenge on Maradona, the match took a negative turn for Müller when he was booked for a handball in the 34th minute, a rare blemish on an otherwise stellar performance. Thomas Müller's handball in the quarterfinal against Argentina earned him a suspension for Germany's semifinal match against Spain. His absence proved costly as Germany lost a hard-fought 1-0 game to Spain, with Carles Puyol scoring a late header to secure Spain's victory. This loss sent Germany into the third-place playoff against Uruguay, but Müller's return to the lineup made all the difference. He scored just 19 minutes into the match, and his goal ultimately sealed a 3-2 win for Germany, ensuring they finished third in the tournament. Müller's goal was also significant for another reason. It brought his World Cup tally to 5 goals, enough to win the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer. At just 20 years old, Müller's remarkable performance catapulted him into the global spotlight, earning him recognition as one of football's brightest young talents. However, despite his individual success, the following season wasn't entirely smooth for Müller and Bayern Munich. There were ups and downs, and the team faced challenges on both domestic and international fronts. But Müller's World Cup heroics had firmly established him as a future star in world football. Bayern Munich's 2010-11 season was a turbulent one, with the team struggling for consistency and Thomas Müller failing to replicate his outstanding form from the previous year. After a shaky first half of the season, Müller regained his place in the starting lineup just before the winter break, and by the time the break ended, he was back to his best, showing glimpses of the player who had shown at the World Cup. However, despite Müller's resurgence, Bayern continued to underperform both domestically and in Europe. In the Champions League, Bayern were knocked out in the round of 16 by Inter Milan, the same team that had eliminated them the previous year. To make matters worse, Bayern's league form was disappointing by their high standards. They finished third in the Bundesliga, a distant 10 points behind champions Borussia Dortmund. The disappointing season ultimately led to the dismissal of manager Louis van Gaal before the campaign's end. His replacement was former Bayern boss Jupp Heynckes. However, this managerial change created some instability, and Müller struggled to adjust to the new tactical setup, further complicating an already difficult season for Bayern. In the very next season, Müller went on a goal drought to start the year, lasting from September to February. However, Bayern managed to reach their second Champions League final in 3 years, despite Müller's poor form. Bayern narrowly edged out Real Madrid in the semifinals to advance to the final, where they would face Chelsea. The match remained tightly contested for most of the game until Müller, out of nowhere, scored his second goal of the tournament in the 83rd minute. The scene was almost cinematic, a hometown hero scoring the winning goal for his boyhood club. In the 87th minute, Müller was substituted off, celebrating with his signature move as the game seemed destined for a Bayern victory. Unfortunately, just 1 minute later, Didier Drogba leveled the score with a header, forcing the game into extra time. The dramatic turn of events left Müller's moment of glory short-lived, as Bayern's hopes were now hanging in the balance. Despite his heroics, The match would go on to deliver even more twists in what became one of the most memorable finals in Champions League history. Bayern had a chance to win the game after Chelsea's Drogba committed a dangerous challenge in the box, earning Bayern a penalty. However, Robin van Persie missed the crucial spot kick. After the miss, neither team managed to score, and the match went to a penalty shootout. In the shootout, both Bastian Schweinsteiger and Arjen Robben missed their penalties, giving Drogba the opportunity to seal the win for Chelsea. He did just that, condemning Bayern to defeat. The disappointment didn't end there. Bayern, already stung by their Champions League loss, also failed to capture the Bundesliga title, finishing second to their rivals Borussia Dortmund, who comfortably won the league with 81 points. For Muller, the season was particularly difficult, as he endured his worst performance to date, scoring just 11 goals and 19 assists in 51 matches. His downturn in form led to frustration, especially with his frequent benchings. Muller openly expressed his unhappiness to the media, making it clear that the situation at Bayern was weighing heavily on him, both professionally and personally. The complaints about his frequent benching sparked rumors of Thomas Müller leaving Bayern, but despite the speculation, Muller chose to stay. This decision would prove to be one of his best, as Bayern and Muller experienced a remarkable turnaround the following season. Bayern won their first 8 games, and by December, they had an astonishing 44-7 goal difference in the Bundesliga, with Muller contributing 9 goals and 7 assists, already surpassing his tally from the previous season. However, their strong form was limited to the domestic league. In the Champions League, Muller continued to shine, scoring crucial goals in the round of 16 and quarterfinals against Arsenal and Juventus, helping Bayern progress to the semifinals. There, they faced Barcelona in what was billed as a heavyweight clash between two European giants. But the tie turned out to be anything but close. Muller scored 3 goals across both legs, as Bayern demolished Barcelona 7-0 on aggregate. This victory sent Bayern through to their 3rd Champions League final in a row, with Muller now in prime form and ready for another shot at European glory. Bayern Munich, driven by Thomas Müller's leadership, sought to claim their 5th Champions League title. Facing Borussia Dortmund, the same team that had dethroned Bayern in the Bundesliga twice, Muller delivered an impassioned pre-game speech. "We can't lose 3 finals in 4 seasons. We'll be labeled chokers." His words ignited the team. The match intensified as Bayern edged Dortmund 2-1. Thanks to Robben's clutch goal in the 89th minute, Muller, the top scorer with 8 goals, played a pivotal role in the tournament. This victory marked a historic treble for Bayern, having already secured the DFB Pokal and Bundesliga title with 91 points. Muller had finally achieved his long-sought goal. The triumph was sweet redemption for Bayern, silencing doubts and solidifying their status as European champions. Müller's leadership and Robben's heroics etched their names in Bayern's lore. This season will be remembered as one of Bayern's greatest, with Muller at the forefront. His determination and skill inspired his teammates, cementing his legacy as one of the club's all-time greats.